When I was younger, college was always my dream. I always envisioned college to be filled with happiness, friendships, new experiences, and freedom. I wasn't wrong, but I never left room for the unexpected. In high school, I was a social butterfly, and I never felt alone. I figured college would be the same. Why wouldn't it be? But when I got here, it was completely different. I went from being the big fish in the small bowl to the small fish in the big bowl. It was a drastic change. I found myself in the middle of High Point Solution Stadium being one in 53,000 people. I watched as everyone had the time of their lives, but here I was, feeling alone and awkward. Was I missing something? Where did these people meet? Did they come into college knowing each other? After experiencing the same feeling over and over, I finally put a name to the knots in my stomach. It was loneliness. But I couldn't give up. Because being a first-generation college student was all my family and I ever dreamt of. I couldn't wait to make the friends I wanted and the networks and connections I needed to be successful. It would take time, but I was going to make it happen. When classes started, I noticed a drift in my outgoing behavior. Even with people around me, I still felt alone. I lived from dorm room to classroom, and I hated going to the dining hall by myself, that sometimes I would just skip dinner. My positivity wasn't there. I had 1,000 things running through my mind, and I had no friends to share with. Just looking at people around campus, I felt upset. I was jealous and I wanted what they had: company, laughter, friendship. I was walking past the student center when I heard sounds of laughter. I wondered, when was the last time I laughed? Deep inside, I felt empty. And as I began to walk towards my car, I began to feel weak and the pain in my heart started rushing through my body. I exploded, and all I could do was cry. I tried to hide behind the car so that nobody could see me, but it wasn't like they would have noticed me anyway. I was invisible and a nobody. I felt alone, and I hated being lonely. My sister always encouraged me to look at being on my own in the bright side. Not everything we do negatively always turns out negative. Sometimes it's the best decision of your life. So I embraced it. And I began my new outlook by going to places where I usually go on my own, like the gym or the library. And I began to do things that don't require company, like taking photos or reading a book. I love biographies. My first homecoming at the birthplace of college football, and here I was, reading Out of the Blue by Victor Cruz, which is a really, really good book, and I'm not just saying that because I'm from Patterson. But you see, these books were my friends. These books gave me company. While reading them, I realized I wasn't alone. I wasn't lonely, just alone. Whether it was Eric LeGrand or Jennifer Lopez, I discovered sides of people, felt emotions, and saw the difficulties that I never knew existed. These stories helped melt the feeling of depression, and the fear of being alone slowly started to disappear. Why? Because I actually tried to enjoy spending time on my own. I knew that even when I'm alone, I can still connect with so many different people because they all have a story just like me. We live in a generation and society where we're always so connected even when we're not. We're constantly jamming on the keyboards on our cell phones, living in our own virtual bubble. We confuse communication and connection. When was the last time you went to the dining hall without your phone? Or took yourself out on a movie date? Have you actually had time to get to know you? The real you? Being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. It just means that you have to find peace when within. So I challenge you. I challenge you to get to know yourself. I challenge you to sit in silence. I challenge you to disconnect so that you can reconnect. Not everything we do negatively always turns out negative. Looking back now, I realized it wasn't other people I needed. The person I needed was me all along. And getting to know myself was the best decision of my life. The start of college turned out a little terrifying. But now, here I am, an Ignite speaker at the MARC conference. And I stand before you because I no longer feel lost in the crowd. I am not invisible. You see, happiness can't be borrowed or bought. Happiness is constructed with the journey you overcome. The truth is, I am still 1 in 53,000. But aren't we all?